dying world of YouTube. I am Yoji, and I'm here today to talk about a strange experience I had a while back. Now, before I get into this, I want to state, yes, I believe in supernatural things can happen. That some of the most evilest things that exist in this world are supernatural beings. And yes, I am drawn to creepy and unnatural things. But I don't believe in every story I'm told. I'm not a fool. I very much want facts that the story is proven and that what has actually happened. Although I do want to say for the story, I have no evidence except for the story I have to tell. But honestly, I was more concerned in running away than video or recording what had happened. You could believe me or not, but yeah. So with that said, let me tell you my story. Let me give you a bit of background. I used to live in a house that was literally 100 years old. Of course, it's been remodeled a ton of times, so it doesn't look ancient, but it still looks old. My father did some research behind it, and apparently it was first owned by a doctor. The doctor apparently took patients there. I don't know if he had any surgeries or if anyone died in our house, but I do know that one of the rooms in the house was the waiting room. I have no clue with the rest. I remember when we first arrived at the house, the walls there were like this disgusting gray color. They were so creepy and it was so dull, and it just made the house look so creepy, and we didn't like it there. Of course, my mother wanted to change the mood, so she wanted to paint the walls yellow, so we had yellow walls, and we like did a lot of remodeling, and that really helped the house out a lot so it doesn't look old anymore. Also, I forgot to say this before, but I actually visited the original owner's grave stone because it was in the same town, and that was kind of creepy, and it had like these like little creepy like you'll never be missed kind of things. Like it's supposed to be sweet, but it's like, or not, you'll never be missed. Oh my god, I messed up. Like you'll be missed. Oh my god, I'm sorry. Okay, back on track. I lived in this house for about 8 years, so most of my childhood was there, and it was also only just recently that I have moved out, like about 6 months. But at the last year or so, I had finally got my own room, and I didn't have to share rooms with anyone anymore. This room was called the yellow room. Now, most of the rooms in our house had yellow walls, but there wasn't a specific reason for the room until I moved in. This room was a hallway into the attic, and the attic was on the same level as the upstairs, which was kind of weird. But the attic room was used for my siblings' rooms, and there were 4 box windows in this room, and this is important, so like you can like open them up in different directions. It's weird, and these windows were very easily opened. When it got windy outside, oftentimes the wind would blow open the windows and stuff, and I slept on a futon on the floor next to the windows, which is probably not a smart idea because wind comes with rain and then I would get drenched. And I could tell you it's been scary during storms in that room. A scary story of in itself. I never thought about it much. The only times the room got annoying, or being in that room, frustrating at all, was when it got like really hot because there was no installation at all, or no air conditioner. And there was like 4 big windows. He got in. Or when it was windy because windows open, water gets in, or when my siblings would barge in and invade my privacy because it's a hallway to their room. It got annoying in the mornings when I went to sleep in, to say the least. But this all changed though, like my comfort in my room. My room was right above the waiting room. I've stated this before, that there was a waiting room in the house, and I was right above. And which seems like a strange coincidence now, but I don't know what to think. I remember the night that what had happened clearly in my mind. I just turned off the lights, I think, and I was in the state of almost sleep, like I'm slipping into sleep, but I'm trying to stay awake kind of thing. Although suddenly I was like wide awake with terror. I heard the screaming of a cat outside. Okay, that sounds stupid. A cat like meowing and screaming. And you could be like, oh, you're just overreacting, it's a cat. Although the way it sounded like terrified me. It was like a robotic sounding cat, but it was just like only one meow that they like recorded, and then they repeated and repeated and repeated and repeated that meow over again. And it was like someone was trying to sound or mimic the sound of the cat, and I got this feeling of dread, and I don't think I could describe it, but I felt like I was gonna die. And I was lying there, and it only took a few seconds to think of so many things, like, should I pretend I'm asleep, and will it go away? Should I run? I didn't even think I had enough time to run, because I thought if this thing heard me, I was dead. But then I heard the tree next to the two middle windows rattle and shake like someone was trying to climb up the tree, and it wasn't like a cat climbing the tree, it was like something bigger than a cat. I booked it, I ran out of my room and into my mom's room, and at this time I was like 15 or 16, and I was like running into my mom's room because something scary, and it seems kind of childish, but that's what I did because I'm like, me and my mom are like good friends. But my brother was sharing my mom's bed at the time because he was having trouble in his new room too, because he got a new room. But I climbed in anyways, and usually like I'm a comfort queen, like you can't see me without like my piles of pillows. But I was like, no, and I don't think I only had like, I didn't even have any blankets, and I was like, I'm sleeping here. But I like didn't really care, and whatever it was, it didn't follow me, but I was like shook. And for a few days after that, I couldn't handle even being near the room because I felt like a sense of dread. Like I have no idea what was there, and the house is old, it probably tricks things, I don't know. And now, like later on, I learned that my brother was having trouble in his room as well. He felt things. I thought he said to me once he felt things watching him. Now I tried to confirm this today, but he was like, not talk to you. But he did hear people walk around outside a lot, and hear knockings of all sorts of things. And we both have heard running on the roof before, like someone's been running up there. I did my own research and heard stories of like skinwalkers or stuff like that, and like hearing fake voices and a pure sense of evil vibe from it, and that kind of explains like that experience with the strange animal and stuff and the feeling of dread. So I thought it was a skinwalker, but that doesn't explain all the other weird things that have been happening at our house. Maybe our house just attracts it because it's so old. So yeah, sometimes I still have to visit this house because that's where my father lives. But whenever I walk through the room, especially at night, I still get like that dreadful vibe from it, like something evil is lurking or something's watching me from out the window. And even for the longest time, I actually have been kind of scared to mention it. I thought if I like put notice on it, he would try to attack me because I thought he was, or it, or whatever's tracking or following me still because it's evil. But for I think that the room was the scariest room in the house, and I don't think it's following me. And yeah. But if you guys like to hear these type of stories where I talk about creepy things or even talk about my experience, please like and comment, or talk about your own creepy experiences. Subscribe maybe. I don't know, it's rambling mostly for the video. I don't know if you guys like that. But whatever the case is, goodbye my lovelies, and see you guys next time. Ta-ta!